From surgically modified bodies to becoming a millionaire in a day business, do we even know what's real anymore? Every day we are faced with the next best thing when we're just trying to become healthier, wealthier, and happy. What the fuck is real? What the fuck is true? What the fuck are you supposed to believe about yourself and your success while trying to build something that actually lasts? Welcome to What the Fuck is Beauty Anyway, the podcast. I am your host, Jen Carrasco, founder of Raga Studio, a fitness champion, IFBB pro figure competitor, a skincare line creator, and a serial entrepreneur. Well, and I'm an overall business coach. After years of building businesses from the ground up, I am here to help you with society's standards and, well, to use your beauty within to build something that is truly you and truly impactful. So now let's dive in. What is going on, guys? So today I am thoroughly juiced to have this podcast. And the reason why is I just got back from Texas and I had a great event that I was at. I actually had the honor of speaking at the event and extremely excited because they asked me to actually be one of their entrepreneur coaches. And if you haven't checked out Apex, I highly recommend that you do. It's called the Break Free Academy, but it's also called Apex. And there's 3 different stages of Apex. And I have been an Apex executive now for quite some time and just took the leap on helping them with their coaching process and working with individuals in elite levels. And so I had a phenomenal weekend. I learned a lot about a lot of people, but I also learned a lot about myself. And I really wanted to dive in deep with the podcast this week to explain a lot of things and a lot of questions that I did get in my event of people that I just assume that everybody knows, and not everybody does know this. And I think it is a great topic to discuss today, especially with entrepreneurs, high-level athletes, anybody that's out there that is really trying to better their life and to excel. And literally, we all tend to, get brain fucked. And it means that we have so many devils in our head that tell us things. And, I want to say it's called the imposter syndrome. And it was really a great question asked at the end of the event, at the question and answer, about the imposter syndrome that people have. And if people don't know what an imposter syndrome is, it's pretty much, it happens with more or less, I want to say, coaches or elite people that get up and talk and discuss and try to help people with their lives, or mentoring and coaching, is sometimes we have this thing called an imposter, now I can't speak, a syndrome, to where we think in our head that we're not good enough to give the advice to other people. And we all deal with this. We all deal with the imposter syndrome. We all have this. Every single elite entrepreneur, every single mental coach, we all deal with this day in and day out. And so I felt like this was such a great topic that I really wanted to talk about today and dive in. So the first thing that I want you to think of in your brain is, when you're a little kid, we do not give a shit what anybody thinks about us. We do whatever we want. When we think of something, we go for it, we do it, and we give it our all, and we don't think anything else We don't belittle ourselves for doing those things. It's something that comes naturally to us. It's something that is just an epiphany, and we know that it's the right thing to do and we do it. But as we get older, we tend to get knocked down quite a bit. And people tell us that that's not the right thing to do. We should be doing this instead. And we start doubting ourselves, and we start doubting our God-given gift of knowing what's right or wrong, and if we're doing the right thing. It's almost like that devil that's on your shoulder telling you you're not good enough at certain things. And so it all correlates together. It all correlates to mindset. It all correlates to the imposter syndrome. I mean, it's all diving in deep in one. And that's really, really what I want my core focus to be today on. So how do we build this ultimate of self-confidence? And I got a question asked to me this weekend when I stepped up there and started speaking. And one of the ladies afterwards asked me, how do you get this confidence to get up there and just to speak? And I told her, I said, you know what? It's my truth. It's my life. It's my journey. And I want to speak it because it's going to help other people. And I explain certain things of self-confidence of what I do. And for instance, before I step on stage with my competitions, I put my earbuds in and I listen to motivational speaking. I listen to mainly like Ed Milet, things like that really get me going and understand who I am as a person. And as before I step on stage, I think of things to myself, you know, you're a badass, Jen. You ran this company, you helped these people, you raised a child on your own. And I keep reiterating in my head, my worth. What am I worth? What have I done in this life? You know, I push myself. I want to help people. And I keep saying that over and over. And I do a little prayer before I ever go out and speak. And I say, please give me the gift to help other people. Please flow through me to help and to touch every single person in this room as I speak, because I want to influence their life and I want them to know that they were born to change the world. They were born to do things. And, you know, I just flow through it and it comes naturally out of me and I speak from my heart. And I feel like when you speak from your heart and you're true with your word, then it's profound and it changes people's lives. And the thing with confidence is we're not born with it. It's something that, well, I shouldn't say that. We are all born with confidence, but we get belittled by other people that deteriorate our confidence. And what we need to do is start owning the fact that we are amazing individuals and we have so much to give to other people. And that is what you need to speak from. That needs to be your confidence. It's not anything else. It's not the way you look, the car you drive, what you own, how much money you have. It's the fact that you are here on earth to help people, motivate people, and inspire people. I believe getting over self-doubt is building something that's bigger around self-doubt. I'm sure you've heard this from other people speaking, but you need to build this platform over you. And it goes for everything. And there was a money question this weekend too, which I dove in deep. If you haven't, you should check out my Facebook. There's a great blog on it. And it's getting over the doubt of going broke, right? We all have this doubt. Even major millionaires have this doubt. And it's the fact that we need to train our brain to not focus on those things. We need to consider ourselves that person that we envision in our head to be. Now, not the person that you are negatively talking to over and over, but the person that you know can own every single thing. So when I start anybody in a fitness journey, okay, When I do any courses for fitness, nutrition, anything, we start off with mindset first. Mindset is literally your key to everything in life. If you want to be a millionaire, you act like you're a motherfucking millionaire. You act like you own the shit. You act like you drive the car you want to. You act everything that you possibly want, you act. And then you start implementing. You start putting in all those little details that work to get yourself to that point that you want to be. And it's the same with fitness. If I look at myself in the mirror and I'm constantly like, Jen, you look like a fat ass today. What the fuck did you eat? Why did you eat that yesterday? Blah, blah, blah. And you keep going down that cycle. You're going to keep going down that cycle of never achieving anything you want, and you're never going to attain those goals. Like I said, everything is mindset, correct? So I teach my clients the fact that when you wake up and you look in the mirror, you say to yourself, I am a badass. I am a sexy motherfucker. I look phenomenal. And you say this over and over. And all of a sudden, you start making healthier choices in your life. You actually start waking up early because you want to hit the gym because you think you're a sexy freaking beast, right? Then you start eating healthier because you feel that way. You feel better about yourself. All of a sudden, the scale starts to drop pounds, and you start losing those extra pounds, and it goes more and more and more, and you get into more shape as you keep going. That is the aspect of mindset and the positivity. It's the same concept when you come to money. It's the same concept when you come to owning your worth. It's the fact that you know you're worth that, and you keep saying that over and over and over. I'm going to give you an explanation. And this isn't something that I discussed at the last event I went to, but I'm going to explain this. Now, with my first marriage, I got a lot of times, it happened in both of my marriages. So it's a cycle. And it was a cycle that I was used to, and it was comfortable for me. And so I assumed that comfortability, that I attracted that over and over and over again, right? So I allowed somebody to speak to me and to tell me that I'm not worthy enough of things. I'm not worthy enough to have a successful business. I'm not worthy enough to attain my pro card. I'm not worthy enough to do these things on my own, that I need a partner. I need somebody next to me to tell me what to do. And I allowed these situations in my life because I told myself over and over in my head that person's correct. That person, what they're telling me is actually correct. I can't do this on my own. I need somebody next to me. Yeah, I can achieve that in business. And guess what? My businesses failed twice in my life. I claimed bankruptcy twice in my life. The fact is because I let other people's thoughts fuck my own head. And that is something that we all need to get out of our own, how do I say this? We need to get out of our own way. We need to own our shit. And that's the one sentence that I say all the time, hashtag own your own shit. And that is because you cannot let other people predict your future or how you're going to be. You need to live life for yourself. If you are not confident in something, then keep doing it until you're confident. Do you really think that I was confident getting up in a freaking bikini with 1,000 people watching me? Absolutely not. But you know what? I knew I had to do that. I knew that I had to get over that fear because that would allow me to start doing other things in my life that I want to do. I want to change the world. I want to help people. In order to help people, I need to be uncomfortable because I have to be in front of people. These are the things that you need to start pushing into your life. You deserve those things. You deserve every aspect of this life that you want in it. You deserve so much more than what you're allowing your brain to think that you deserve. I really truly feel that the root of all evil is the devil that sits on our shoulder that provides our brains with self-doubt. And a lot of times it's things that we have to overcome as a person. And it takes a while. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of retraining your brain constantly. And I have to tell you, it's a cycle that I fall back into over time and time again. And it's the same thing with every realm of my life, with business is a lot of times I think, am I good enough for this? Can I handle this? And a lot of people don't realize that I do that, but I do. A lot of times when I have meetings in my companies, I'm very, how do I say, I'm doubtful that I'm going to give them everything that we need or give them advice that I need to give them in order for certain business aspects to succeed. Hopefully that made sense. In my brain, it did. I don't know if it came out that way. Another thing too is, I had a great conversation with a female this last week in Texas at the Apex event, and that was about what I look like. So I know like a lot of people say to me, well, you're blessed, you look great, you have great skin, you do, but the thing is that, and I'm fit. And the thing is that I work really hard at that. For me, that is super important in my life. It is important for me because I love skincare. I love beauty. I love makeup. I love all of that realm of it. And for me, that is super, super important. So I do dive in deep and I do things to keep myself at a certain level. The same thing with nutrition and diet and fitness. To me, is extremely important. I think if you can take care of yourself and you show that you are important, then everything in your life is important because you're going to give it your all on top of it. But the discussion that I had with this female, and it really hit home, was she feels like she can really get up and she can really speak and she has so much education to give people. And she really wants to. She wants to help people, but she's suffering from skin issues. And that's holding her back from being in the limelight, from being on social media, from doing lives, from doing all of this, because she's self-conscious about it. And I told her it does not matter. Your gift will go over any of those insecurities that you have. People are not looking at that. People are attracted from your gift. They are attracted from all of the education and knowledge that you have to give this world. That is your blessing. And I said, but if these other things are bothering you, it is a time that you start doing these things and you start upholding the things that bother you to get it to a certain point. You need to get over these issues that you're uncomfortable, because when you get over that uncomfortability, that is only going to excel you to the next level. It's only going to make you 10 times of a greater person, a greater business entrepreneur, and a greater leader for everybody else to get up there and say, listen, I have this flaw. I don't want to show my face because, I'm dealing with certain issues that I feel are negative in my life. And it's showing these people that they need to get up and they need to speak regardless. It's showing people who are out of shape. I mean, if you look at 75 Hard, how many people are out of shape and they post these pictures and then they push hard and hard and hard. And you see them, 75 days later, fucking phenomenal, 30, 40 pounds lighter with a picture. That is getting over your fears. That is pushing to the extreme. And that is what I want to shoot on this podcast today. You guys need to keep owning your shit and keep leveling the fuck up. So let's get back on track and let's talk about how we can do how can we focus on positive affirmation or positive things to get over these self-doubts? What are the tricks up your sleeve, or what can you do to get over that hurdle? And a lot of times we give ourselves these self-doubts, but we don't realize that these self-doubts are not necessarily just coming from us. it's been something that's been implanted in our head from somebody else or an outsource of some sort. So all these beliefs that you have about yourself, they never came from you. They were either coming from like your parents, an outside source, a ridicule in, middle school, high school, elementary school. You get a lot of these outside realizations within yourself from other people. And you keep living that cycle over and over and over in your head and replay that to yourself every day. So at one of the talks at the RTA Syndicate, Ed Milet talked about this, and he made a description that really hit home to me. And I want to explain it to you. So if you think of a table, right? A table has sturdy legs underneath it. And that's the same things with our negative thoughts. What happens is when we have those negative thoughts within our head, our head wants, or our thoughts, whichever, wants to prove that these are true. And it's almost like you start putting those legs under the table to make it sturdy. The fact that every thought is true, and you start making that and implanting in your brain that that's a sturdy table. And all of the thoughts are like the little legs on the table. And now this sturdy negative thought is sitting in your brain of, how inadequate you are in certain areas. It could be like, you're not strong enough, you're fat, you're not fit, you're not pretty, you don't look the part, whatever it is that you tell yourself. Your brain kind of just like forms these legs, and it's like solid in there. And you kind of just stand the ground of you sitting in your insecurities. Okay, so going forward, I'm going to give you some homework. This is something I really, really want you to work on. Now, it's going to take some time to, break the legs of that table and pull them apart to where you're constantly retraining your brain these happy thoughts or these thoughts of yourself. So this is what I do to myself. So for instance, I'm going to give you a money thing. So when I have issues with money in my brain now, or not in my brain, but money patterns that are negative. For instance, it was brought up that the fear of losing everything again. I have that fear all the time. That's actually something that I struggle with a lot because I have failed in the past, and that's my biggest fear and my biggest worry, that I'm going to fail again. And no matter how much money I think that you have in the bank, you're always going to have that fear. So what I do for myself is I retrain, and I say to myself, you're only thinking that thought because of this negative situation, or somebody said this in your past. It's not your thought. That's not how you perceive things. Your thought is you're rich. Your thought is that you own this. Your thought is that you're better than this. And I go on with that. And all of a sudden, my mind shift changes. And it's the same thing. Let's hit fitness, for example, with this. Being a fitness competitor, a lot of times if I am not like literally 6-8% body fat, I think I'm fat, right? Well, the last 2 years I've taken off competing, and it's the first year I want to say has been a complete mind fuck, because every single time I eat something or do something, I criticize myself in my head of, I can't believe you just ate that. What the fuck did you put that in your mouth for, Jen? And it goes on in my brain. And I had to sit back and retrain my brain that it is normal to do these things, and that I do look fabulous, and it is okay to splurge and have a Snickers bar every now and then, or have a latte, or do these little things. So my homework that I want for you this week is every single time that negative thought comes in your head and you start building that table around the negative thought, meaning you start implementing the reason why you're not at that point, say your success level is because Now you go into the negative thought, oh, well, I failed here and this person said this about me and my business, so this isn't why it's working out. And when you start making that table stable with those negative thoughts, I want you to stop. I want you to stop right away. And I want you to start rethinking things differently. I want you to start implementing that positive thought of, you know what? I started implementing this in my business and it's doing really well now. And I'm only going to keep progressing with that. And I'm going to be doing this next time with this business or with my business. And it's going to excel at this point. Or fitness, for instance. Hey, I'm going to stop that negative thought because this morning I woke up and did 20 minutes of cardio outside. That is a step to being lean as fuck and sexy, correct? And then keep retraining your brain with those things. Keep looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? I look fucking good. I look amazing. I can't believe where I'm going to be in a week from now. And keep going on with retraining your negative thoughts that you produce. Another piece of the homework that I want you to do is I want you to analyze who you are surrounding yourself with. Now, the minute you do something, and if something or somebody comes back at you with a negative comment or negative response, I want you to note that in your head. I want you to note that that person is saying a negative response to you. And if you really actually need that person in your life, and I don't mean this like if they're giving you a positive negative for like a business or anything like that. I mean, those definitely you need to take into consideration. But I really want you to look at your outside sources and what you're getting from people. Because truly, to get inundated, and you know what? I've been there many times in my life, inundated with people telling me that I shouldn't be doing something or a lack of, and they were the problem that I was having. It wasn't my own mind, because my own mind was telling me I could do it, but I was listening to them because I was becoming average. So your homework this week is I want you to analyze who you are surrounding yourself with, what thought patterns they are giving you into your brain, and retrain your brain to focus on more of the positive. Every single time you give yourself a negative feedback in your head, I want you to stop. And I want you to sit there for a minute, and I want you to analyze why the fact you just told yourself that. Why? Why are you feeding yourself with negative behavior? That is my homework that I want you to work on this week. I hope that it helps. Please DM me. Please respond to this. Let me know how I helped you guys. If you want me to go over anything with you, let me know. Anyway, check out Apex. I think you guys would highly, highly enjoy this. It's a 3-tier program. It helps you a lot within business and personal and things like that. But I hope this week helped you, and I will catch you guys next week. Make it an awesome, awesome week. Thanks for turning in this week. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed this episode, and I hope you're feeling stronger mentally and physically and ready to kick some ass. As we navigate new society norms, business and beauty breakthroughs, make sure to always ask yourself, what the fuck is beauty to me? And know that's all that really matters. If you love this content today, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow me and get more info on how to work with me at jencarrasco.com. You can also find me on all of your favorite social media platforms. Now just remember, stay mentally tough.